What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here, bringing you another video today, focusing on Butcher on the PTR. I wanted to talk about him before he goes live to kind of give you guys an idea of what I feel about him, how I think he should be played, and just kind of going over the build and providing a gameplay for you guys. So when this patch does go live, you'll have a good idea of what's kind of going on with this hero. I know a lot of people are saying like new Butcher's OP, new Butcher, is out of hand. He's just too strong. While I think I agree, since that new Butcher is going to hit really hard and he's going to feel kind of overpowering if you can't control him in a PTR quick match scenario, I don't think that he'll be quite that insane in a competitive scenario. He might be a really strong Hero League hero, but as far as his problem of if he gets focused, he dies very quickly, that will still exist even with the new kit. But I do want to go over the new things that they've changed and added to Butcher. The first and most important thing is obviously going to be his new passive. This is the new fresh meat passive that they've decided to add. They've changed it from the old flat 25% 25 meat, and they've added it to this new holding up to 125 meat. So they've added kind of the Abattoir level 7 talent to his base kit, and each minion is going to drop 1 fresh meat and each kill is going to drop 5. That's different from the 3 that they used to drop. Each piece of meat is going to add 1 attack damage. So if you get the 125, you'll get a bonus 125 attack damage, which is a lot. And the most important part about this quest text is that when you die, you only lose 10 meat. Before with Butcher, my biggest complaint, and I complained about it all the time when people ask me on stream to play Butcher, was in the later game, if I died, I felt like I no longer was the hero that I needed to be. And if in some cases you have catapults or things that are pushing lanes, it's so risky to push out lanes to get your meat stacks. But only losing 10 meat upon death is crucial, I think, to this hero, and makes it so his later game, if you get to this quest talent, becomes very powerful, which is what I think a lot of people are thinking this hero is OP for. Before, he was about just as strong, probably not as strong, but he was very powerful in the late game if he got to, smashing away at somebody. But now, because of this new passive and him not losing all of the meat that he's gained throughout the game, I think kind of adds to that. So now if you do get the 125 fresh meat, you're going to gain an additional 100 attack damage. So 225 attack damage at level 20, a flat base of 307. So we're looking at like 530, something like that. If you add Nexus Blades to that at 20, you're going to be hitting for over an additional 20 on top of that. So like close to 700 damage on autos. When we look at a 16 talent, the 13 talent Brutal Strike, you then get an extra 15% on that. I don't want to do the math, but it's like 800, 900 damage autos. So that's why he feels so powerful, especially if you can get ahead. Autoing someone for 800 damage can be brutal when you're playing someone like Vala and you only have 2200 health. So this, I think, is the most important part about the new Butcher, and is the core to him, is getting the 125 meat. You don't want to kind of sacrifice your early game because you still have a strong early game, and if you find picks, you get the 5 meat from the hero kill. But you want to watch out for deaths early, as towards the mid game you really want to get this passive activated and going, as this is where your big power spike is going to come from. Nothing really else has changed on his kit. Butcher's brand was changed a little bit, and this helps his ability to duel. So what happens now is they reduce the second that the brand is on the target from 5 to 4 seconds, but every time you attack someone that's branded, it increases the duration by half a second. So if you're 1v1ing someone and for whatever reason the person is punching you back, they will lose this duel. There's no way you can beat Butcher in a 1v1 if the brand is on you. So watch out for this. Just if you're against the Butcher's player, do not try to duel them once they have branded you, or you will lose. And they will heal way too much, especially paired with the 7 talent that I personally enjoy taking. So obviously the hamstring has not been changed, but it's just a slow 50% slow 4-second cooldown. Really cool talent. So we're gonna go over the build now that I personally like and that I will be playing in this game that you guys see, and then I'll go over some kind of tricks with Butcher that I think a lot of people fail to do. So at level 1, there are 2 different choices for me that I like. I personally like Invigoration the most. I think that this allows Butcher to have some sort of poke in lane, especially. Also, reducing the cooldown of your Q by 1 second is big, especially when paired with your 13 talent. It gives you more crits. Also, keeps the person slowed so you can chase and keep up with them. Block is a good talent if you're against follow-through heroes like Thrall and Zeratul, or even Greymane, but I don't think it's always necessary. I know a lot of people like Abattoir, and they feel like, oh, well, I can just continue to get stronger. But for me, I will say the losing 5 meat instead of 10 on death is very big, but you're not going to get that much bonus attack damage after you've gotten max, unless your team's really just crushing the other team. And even at most, you're going to get probably an additional 20 to 30 damage. So I'm not a huge fan of this talent, although I can see it being good if you're really ahead and whatnot. But it's a level 1 talent, so it's just a hard for me. It's just very hard. I think it's greedy, and you get the most value out of one of these 2 talents. So I'll probably be playing Invigoration unless, like I said, there's a lot of follow through damage on the other team. So at level 4, for me, I personally like Flail Axe. Again, this is going to synergize with your level 1 talent that you just took. It's going to increase the range of Hamstring. So in lane, I again like to poke with the Q and just put damage on the other person. It also allows me to, break tribute channels, things like that. You get a little more range. You can find slows, get people off mounts, things like that. The other talent that I think is pretty good is Unrelenting Pursuit. A decreased cooldown on charge is good, but you have to hit impact, which can sometimes be bad. I think if you're finding early game kills with like a Tyrande or something, then I think this is a good talent, but I'm not super sold on it. So I'm going to probably be going with Flail Axe again today. Cheap Shot for me is just a kind of a bursty talent. It's not terrible, but I don't think that it's the best of these 3. So at 7, there are a few choices here. Again, Meat Shield is going to be really good. I mean, it's a spell shield once you hit for 2.5 seconds, and a lot of the time people put damage on Butcher once he hits his charge. The only problem is if you're charging in and your team's not following you, then this talent's not that good. And for me, Butcher seems like he's going to be a hero that charges in and then catches a D shield or a Tyrael Sank. So having ability damage reduction after you've hit is kind of silly, because that's the window in which you'll get one of those heavy cooldowns, or let's say a Medivh shield, right? So I'm not super sold on this talent, although I do like it, and it is one of his newer talents. The other is Victuals. This is pretty good in smaller maps like Spider Queen and whatnot, where you're trading damage and sustaining is powerful. But my favorite talent, although I know that I believe it is nerfed, or it's not nerfed, it's bugged, of the movement speed, is Butcher's Insatiable Blade. So this is going to buff your Butcher's brand. It's going to increase your healing of your basic attack to 100%. So now if you brand someone and you're autoing for, like I said, upwards to 800 damage, you're going to be healing 800 damage per auto. And I'm going to show you guys a little combo that Butcher can do to auto 3 times in like a second. So you're healing 2200 health in a second, and so it's kind of silly when you think about it. And the increased move speed once it's fixed is going to really help this talent out a lot. So at 10, Lamb to the Slaughter is like one of the coolest talents in the game, honestly. And this is the talent that I pretty much always take on Butcher. Just great for getting picks. Great for 1v1. It's great for team fight. Just hitting a silence on a support just destroys the other team. Kind of like Cocoon, but works in your advantage. Just probably one of my favorite talents to cast in the game. Furnace Blast is very good and it's a lot of damage, but it can be countered, it can be evaded. It's not a guaranteed sort of always going to work out for you. So Lamb of the Slaughter is what we're going to be going into today. So now at 13, like I said before, if you're on the charge build, the 4 talent and the 7 talent, Savage Charge is pretty good. It's going to take 10% of someone's maximum health. Charging like frontline is going to be really powerful here. So I can see it being good if you talent for it correctly. But because we're kind of on the hamstring build, we're going to take Brutal Strike. And then at 16, there are a few choices here. Actually, I believe all the talents at this talent tier are possible and strong choices, but it's between Blood Frenzy and Crippling Slam for me. I really like Crippling Slam actually with the flail build. It kind of just allows you to stick onto the person. It gives you a it gives you a 50% slow for 2.5 seconds on a 3-second cooldown. So your uptime on slow is almost 100% as long as you're hitting your Q. It's actually really powerful when you think about it, but a lot of people overlook it, I think, because Blood Frenzy seems so good. And I will agree, the attack speed that Blood Frenzy provides is really powerful. So if attacking the enemy team, if the other team has like melees or tanks or things like that, like that are kind of coming into you, then I believe Blood Frenzy is the better talent. If not, then and you're chasing, Crippling Slam to me is the better talent here. Also, you can take Enraged if the other team is a cooldown based team. So if the other team is going to burst you out with cooldowns, let's say like, I don't know, Jaina, Kerrigan, something like that, then I think Enraged is actually pretty good here too. Because you get the damage resistance. So we'll probably be taking Crippling Slam. And then at 20, although Nexus Blades is really powerful, Bolts of the Storm is still one of the best talents in the game. And Butcher is one of a few heroes that still has it. So I personally have been taking lots of Bolts of the Storm. I can see Nexus Blades being powerful in some certain situations where you might have the D-Shield or something and the escape is not so important or you're really far ahead. Another one is Slaughterhouse. If you execute this talent correctly, it can be just it could just obliterate the other team. I've seen Butchers just hit 4-man Lamb to the Slaughters and just win games, so it's not a bad talent either. But I really like the Bolt because it kind of like allows you to make like really flashy plays like that, right? So to me, I personally like Bolt. A lot of time people, if other heroes have an escape, you can't really catch up once you charge them. Bolt kind of allows you to catch up and finish the job. So we're gonna go over some quick like damage rotations and things you want to be doing as Butcher, and then we'll go into our game. So the first one and the most basic, and if you don't have any experience on Butcher at all, just go into training mode and do exactly what I'm about to do. It takes 2 seconds to learn. His E just recently got an extra kind of buff to it too, because you attack faster after you E. Essentially, when you charge, you get an auto right after the charge, as you can see. Let me turn this down just a little bit. So again, when I charge, Butcher will auto right after, right? So what you want to do is when you charge, and you can reset your auto with both your W and your Q. Your Q actually says your next basic attack will strike immediately. But it works the same for your brand actually. So when you charge in, you get your first auto. You'll W, which will reset your auto, and then you Q auto. Okay, so I'm gonna do it a lot faster this time. And again, you guys should just go into trying mode and just try it out. So first auto, right? And that's gonna heal you for that second auto and then the third auto. It works even better if you get a Q off on the target, then charge them once you have the 13 talent, because then you'll get your crit. So let's say I get a Q, charge, auto, W, auto, Q, auto, right? That's just your basic damage rotation, okay? The other thing you can do is you can work in your lamb when you hit at the end of your charge when it connects, because it's a 1 second stun. So you charge in, it's going to connect. Before they get out, the lamb to the slaughter should hit, before they get out of the stun. You see the stun and then the lamb. Right, so this is your, I want to kill one person. You don't have to aim it at all. You just put it right on top of that person if that's the person you want to lamb. So if you hit the bright wing, come in, hit it, immediately push R, and it should lamb the bright wing. Okay, so this is another super basic combo. I mean, that's really all there is to it, is just poking with your Q, getting them pretty weak, and then going in for the all-in. You should only do this damage rotation if you're looking to burst. Otherwise, just focus on hitting your Q and auto-attacking and saving your brand until you take a lot of damage. But before I go into this video so you guys can kind of pay attention to it, fresh meat is going to be the most important part. I'm going to try to get this stacked up as quickly as I can. You'll see that I'll look for picks and I will poke with my Q before I go in for the pick unless I feel like I can. Then when I feel like I can and I charge in, if I have the damage, I'll go for the Butcher Brand into Hamstring combo. A lot of time too, you'll see me maybe go for a pick by just casting a lamb from max range or something where the other team can't see it and react. And then I'll blink into that after, especially at 20, I'll do something like this and just try to kill the person, okay? That's like my all-in sort of push. Kind of outplay the other team. You can do that in the late game. But this is kind of the basic of Butcher. He's a very simple hero, honestly. Not a lot going on as far as super mechanics or anything. You're just kind of getting meat stacks, smashing, and making sure that when you Butcher brand, you're getting value out of that Butcher's brand. So I'll see you guys in the game, and we'll talk a little bit more about it from there. Alright guys, so we're hopping into the game. As you can see, just looking at compositions, our team is actually much better than theirs. And it's Infernal Shrines, which is a 3-lane map, which means I should be able to get pretty good meat stacks. I know that Butcher actually struggles on the 2-lane maps, in particular on this, that new map. I can't even think of the name of it right now, actually, but because the map is so small, it's really hard to get the meat stacks quickly. On a 3-lane map like this, I can double soak 2 lanes to get the stacks on the 2-lane map because the map is a bit wider. It's much harder to rotate from like top to bottom. On this map, it's so much easier to go mid to bot, right? So we are gonna go Invigoration. Could have gone follow through for the Nova. It may have been better. I mean, not follow through. Sorry, the block because of the Nova. She's gonna go follow through. Could have been better. We'll try out the build that I kind of went over before this game. So one thing to note that neither team has sustain. Their team does have Avatar, and you could go the heal talent at level 1. But really, I just want to focus on just getting meat. Again, that's when I get my spike. Alright, so he's gone W build, so he's gonna go full hat build. There's that combo I was talking about before to get in damage. Not having sustain could be an issue this game. And I was talking about before, like going Avatar on a map that has like an objective with minions near the objective. This would be a good example of that. I can soak the lane for health while playing the objective, so it's possible that I go Victuals this game. It'll help a lot against this Chromie poke, the Nova poke, and the Alarak poke. You think this is the real Zinc C? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? So I'm gonna heal off of this minion. And now the Q talent is going to be even easier to poke at them with the range. Maybe the thing jumps. Oh, come on, Cena. It'll jump here. Should. Tempted to dive. I'm gonna go for it. I really want those meat stacks. Oh! Life in the fast lane, boys. Alright, time to leave. Not gonna lie, I'm crushing right now. I almost have my passive halfway done at 4 minutes into the game, which is insane. As you can see, on, like I said, a map like this, getting stacks is going to be so much easier than on the 2-lane maps where that could be a bit harder. And if you ever want to sustain, just W a full health melee and then just smack it. So yeah, we are going to go Victuals this game. I'm actually curious to see if it'd be sweet if this talent worked on the minions. I doubt it does. Like Night, no, okay, never mind. Night Tick Pawn I think said mercenaries back before they nerfed it. This does say enemy minions, right? Enemy minions. So I doubt this is for I doubt this is for the objective. But this talent will help a ton against Chromie. If I take like a Chromie Q, I'm not just dead. I'm gonna sneak up on this guy. I'm gonna wait to charge. A little late on the charge. Again, I'm getting so close. Here's the point in the game where like I really don't want to die. I want to try my best not to. And when I play this shrine, because I have Victuals, I'm going to play it towards the bottom so I can play it towards the minion wave. They're going to help me sustain as the minions die. It does not heal you when these things die. This talent would be so good on this map if that was the case. Oh my goodness. Guy kind of suicided. And again, I want to try not to die here. I think the Nova's somewhere close by. So I'm going to go tap. Should be able to sustain most of my health back on the wave. Alright, so I need 3 more meat sacks. I'm actually just gonna head to the bottom. No, I can push mid. I can push mid. Grabbing them right here. Alright, so now my passive is active. This is where Butcher gets out of hand. So I'm autoing for 400 damage at level 10. This game is going really well. 7 minutes in, I already have full stacks, which is insane. And again, like, because I took victuals, like, I should be full health after I push this wave. I don't have to W. Oh, I also forgot, I think when I was going over, when you get a 125 increase in damage and an attack speed buff. So oh, so close. I was about to get my W off and start killing. was good on their part. They killed me really quick. Again, I think the one thing about Butcher is he still like dies like that. A little bit of CC slows him down. In this case, Nova is actually pretty powerful against Butcher. The pinning shot, like, if it connects, I kind of just immediately get I just kind of immediately get CC'd, like, and then I get kited. So as you can see, it's happening right now. A pinning shot connected there, and then it was just like I no longer could chase. So I had to use Lamb of the Slaughter in order to kind of get in on the enemy team. Or just poke back with my Q and just auto attack when I can. Not go so hard on the enemy. That's the real one. Oh, I hit the clone. I'm gonna heal off the minion wave now. Watch out for the Chromie. Right, so now I have crit autos. See where I'm at. 527. Almost had the objective. Well, again, heal on the wave. And this time, we'll look to dive with the Punisher. This is an arcane Punisher. Really powerful. Heal off the wave again. I'm actually really glad I took this talent. It's like paying dividends here against Chromie. Might even be okay with like even a support. Oh shh. This guy's so dead. I'm gonna knock this sidewall, and then when he jumps, I'm gonna lamb. Unless he jumps to clone. Maybe clone suicides before he jumps. Nope. Ever lucky. Can't really dive this now. No Punisher. Okay, I was like, I might be dead. Could look to kill this kid. We'll try for it. Oh, okay. I don't know how he knew I was there, but alright. Maybe he's scripting. Not gonna lie, that was a little confusing. I was like, oh, I'll just outplay him here. Could have possibly, instead of opening with a Q, just opened with a slam. He might not have sniped, but he didn't react to my Q with a snipe. He autoed me before I Q'd. Maybe he cloned the bush. And the clone was invisible. That's probably what ended up happening. Ooh, that was almost a really good play by that guy. I think he'll still end up getting him. Nice. Should be able to get out. Good 13 down. He took running wild. Might be able to save him as well. Push back. Jesus. Dead. Got destroyed by that clone. Whoa. Oh man, that was awesome. So again, as you can see, when I talked about before, like, Butcher is gonna need more. He does a ton of damage. Like, he does a ton of damage, but I'm gonna go enrage this game. They're kind of focusing me. But if he has some sort of suppressant, like Uther D shield or something like that to protect him for the window like that he has an issue in, like even I think Rhaegar could be really good with him, but then he's really strong. Like I'm autoing for a lot of damage. I can kill Chromie in 2 seconds. Okay, not that everybody can't kill Chromie in 2 seconds, but you know what I mean. I'm hitting for so much damage right now. $573. Get the heal off the wave. But if I don't have like some form of CC to keep targets like either, you know, allowing me to hit the target or whatnot, then I'm not near as strong as I could be. In this game, my team has like no CC at all. The only CC that we have is the Alarak push. So it's again why it's a bit harder. I did stack really well this game, but it is a bit harder to kind of stick on the enemy team. Plus we have no real tank, which also sucks, which means we have no engage. When I do stuff like that, you know, it ends up getting me killed. Gotta watch out for apple mines. Should be fine. I could probably... There's a tap ball. I was gonna say I could probably tab and go. I could also get victuals. Oh my god, Nova actually came after me. I think this guy is hacking. He might be scripting. Maybe not, but maybe he's just really greedy. But I don't know. I don't see why that guy would. I guess he could come and hunt me down here, but it just seems so weird that he keeps finding me in these bushes. It's possible, you know? That was my bad. I was like alert of the Nova, but then I kind of gave up on the thought that she would actually chase me. And she ended up chasing me. Be interesting to see if he lives. Yeah, he's not going to. That's funny. Actually a really broken mechanic. The boss just kind of stood there. Wonder if that's PTR or if that's live. Once I get Bolt, I should be better off. I like had my Lamb to the Slaughter like hover there on that bush, and then I decided to back, or I mean I decided to go tap, and when I decided to tap I looked down at the well, and that's when I got killed, so it's kind of annoying there. It's like the... Oh my goodness. Got the attack speed that time around. For my resistant 16 talent that I took. I kicked in and I just started destroying. Should be able to kill this guy. Yeah. I gotta kill this wall so this thing summons. Should be able to get heals off this from victuals now. Oh man, I almost died. I need it back. I mean, we should win right now, but I don't want to die. If Artanis was tanking, we would have 100% won. Artanis is still pretty good. Artanis is kind of like a little mini Illidan on core. As long as he gets his W's off, he oh, nice swap there. As long as he gets his W's off, the core can't kill him because of his shield. Oh, 2%. 2%? We lose? Can I double a 7? Probably not. It seems like a throw. Oh, I just missed that too. I'm gonna die for this too. Alright, so if Nova finds me now, I'm just gonna assume he's cheating. Oh, he didn't find me that time. Should have killed the Nova there. I missed my Q. I can't core. So I'll just get out the camp. Honestly, like backdoor core is probably the better play here. You just kill them. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we just won. I don't know. They're like not like they didn't see this coming or something. Overall, like I think Butcher is a lot stronger than he was. Let's put it that way. If there's a way to put it, it's that he is much stronger than he once was. As you can see here, I died a lot this game, and old Butcher, if he had died without the stacks, he would have been just completely obsolete. Here, with the stacks, I'm still really powerful. Obviously, I could still play these things better. A lot of these team fights, I could play it a lot better. But not having protection and being kind of like the tank for the team in this game is not very good. honestly, if Butcher has a good engaged tank that follows up on his charge or stuns, and then Butcher can wail away on the target, like I think he's in a way better spot. He still can get kited just so easily by slows and in just any form of CC. As you can tell, that game Nova, if she pinning shotted me, it was just like it just broke my ankles. Like it was like my character just broke. It was like, why am I playing Butcher anymore, right? So he's still very vulnerable to CC, which is why I like Uther and I say these two heroes because they cleanse, right? They cleanse the person altogether. So no CC can be applied. He might be really good with a Medivh as well. When all the damage comes down on him, the shield just stops everything and heals him. Also, portals are really powerful with Butcher, I can only imagine. So I think overall, just after playing a few games with him and going over the build and showing you guys, I do think that he will be picked and he will be a new melee assassin in the game. I don't think he'll be a first pick, like if you don't have him, you lose sort of hero. But I do think that he will find a place within the meta and teams will play him because if he goes off and the other team doesn't have a way to handle him, then he can just kill everybody. Or he just has enough damage to one-shot somebody. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and when Butcher goes through on live, you can kind of take this information that I've given you today and apply it to your games, maybe pick up some free wins, as a lot of people won't know how to play against this guy. He is much stronger than he once was. Remember, 2-lane maps, not so good on. Getting the stacks of the meat is very important in the early game. You don't have to not get kills, because if you find kills, you get 5 stacks, which is essentially the same as getting a mini wave worth of meat. So, but hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also check out both my Twitch and Twitter and follow me on both of those. I do stream pretty much every day, try to at least. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Say hey, drop by, whatever. If you have any more feedback on my videos, please continue to drop that on me. I'm trying to progress as a YouTuber and video maker, so any feedback is really positive. Again, thanks for everything, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. I will see you next time. Cheers.